It's very tribal, very toxic. Can Musk cut through that? And if so, how?
You're literally asking me?
Yes.
Well, no, you are the arbiter on Twitter.
He decided to risk it all again to try and achieve the most impossible things. That's how you got to where you are.
Many examples where it's including free speech.
Free speech used to be a left or liberal value.
Is it possible, Andrew Tate, to actually police something like Twitter?
Don't like allowed to say something you don't like.
Elon Musk is a man of free speech, but why did he support Andrew Tate in his interview? Let's find out.
It's very tribal, very toxic. Can Musk cut through that? And if so, how?
Free speech. People should be able to share their perspectives and ideas without worrying about being banned or subject to penalty, according to Elon Musk's conception of free speech on Twitter, which is founded on the belief that people should be able to share their opinions and ideas on Twitter. According to Musk, the right to free expression is one of the most fundamental rights.
Now you've got all the people on the left screaming that they're being diminished in some way.
And it is essential to the health and prosperity of any community. Because he is a supporter of free speech on Twitter, Musk frequently clashes with individuals who believe that social media networks should seek to prevent hate speech and misinformation from being spread. Musk has stated that the solution to these problems is to promote open and honest conversation rather than silencing those who are seen to be controversial or disliked.
Who's to say that something is misinformation?
Musk has made it clear that he does not believe social media firms should be in the business of regulating or censoring speech, even if the speech is harmful or disputed. He also believes that the industry should not be in the hands of social media companies. Musk is of the opinion that individuals, who ought to be let to freely express their opinions and engage in dialogue with others, ought to be the ones responsible for combating hate speech and misleading information. Musk has received criticism for his stance on free speech on Twitter, but he has attempted to defend it by arguing that censorship may be just as damaging as the spread of hate speech or inaccurate information.
One person's misinformation is another person's information.
According to him, when people are prevented from speaking their minds, it might lead them to become extremists and resort to extreme measures in an effort to be heard. Musk has also asserted that there are limitations to what can be spoken in public and that the concept of free speech does not exist in a vacuum without any qualifications. He is of the opinion that the line between free speech and hate speech needs to be properly drawn, and he believes that this should be done with the assistance of a precise definition of what constitutes hate speech.
Well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech.
When you have enough to stop, but you don't stop. For some reason, there's some new mountain to climb.
Twitter ban on Andrew Tate. The Twitter account of Andrew Tate was terminated in 2020 because he violated Twitter's guidelines regarding the use of hostile language and behavior. Tate was banned after sending out a series of tweets that drew widespread condemnation for being disrespectful and abusive towards women. Specifically, widespread criticism was directed at one of the tweets. Tate implied in the tweet that women who struggled with mental health or were overweight did not deserve respect or sympathy because they did not deserve any of those things. A reaction against Tate and his online persona was sparked as a result of the remark, which many people interpreted as being cruel and prejudiced.
He decided to risk it all again to try and achieve the most impossible things. That's how you got to where you are.
It was not an isolated occurrence that led to Tate being banned from Twitter. In the past, he has expressed thoughts and made statements that have caused controversy, notably regarding the subject of women. He has been criticized for them. Some people have claimed that Tate is responsible for perpetuating damaging stereotypes and adding to an atmosphere that is filled with misogyny and sexism. He has also continued to stir up controversy with his statements and behavior, including his recent arrest on suspicions of being involved in the trafficking of human beings.
That they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law.
Twitter ban lifted on Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a highly polarizing figure in the world of social media. He has gained a massive following for his content, which often captivates young audiences. However, his ideas and statements have been subject to criticism, with many accusing him of promoting misogynistic and discriminatory views.
To be a platform for genuine free speech, or is it so toxic and tribal?
As a result, Tate has been banned from several social media platforms, including Twitter, for violating policies on hate speech. Despite these bans, Tate continues to remain active on social media, thanks in part to the support of billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk.
I'm quite sure the BBC have said things before that turn out to not be true.
Correct.
It's
Musk's recent defense of Tate's Twitter account has caused controversy, with many criticizing his decision to support someone who has been accused of promoting hate speech. During a heated interview with the BBC, Musk defended his decision, stating that everyone should have the right to express their opinions on social media, regardless of whether they were popular or widely accepted. Musk's stance on free speech has been a controversial issue in recent years.
And I have so much respect for men of purpose. Most people who get his kind of paycheck whenever he got it in the 90s would have just cashed out, hedonism.
Particularly in light of his support for individuals like Tate, who have been banned from social media platforms for violating policies on hate speech. While many agree that free speech is essential for a healthy democracy, there are also concerns about the negative impact that hate speech can have on society. Some argue that allowing individuals to express their views.
Is it possible, Andrew Tate, to actually police something like Twitter?
No matter how offensive they may be, only serves to legitimize hate speech and encourage further discrimination. The interview with Musk has sparked a broader debate about the role of social media in modern society and the responsibility of those who control it.
Right, but
I think in the grand scheme of things, the BBC does aspire to be accurate.
But you accept there has to be a line in terms of hate speech.
Social media platforms have become a powerful force in shaping public opinion and influencing political discourse. They have also been criticized for allowing hate speech and misinformation to spread unchecked, leading to social division and political polarization. In response to these concerns, many have called for stricter regulation of social media platforms, including measures to combat hate speech and limit the spread of misinformation. Some argue that platforms like Twitter and Facebook have a responsibility to ensure that their users are not promoting harmful or discriminatory views. Others believe that the solution lies in promoting more diverse voices and encouraging open and honest dialogue.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square,
Elon Musk defends his decision. During a BBC interview, Elon Musk faced scrutiny for his decision to allow controversial figures like Andrew Tate back on Twitter. Musk defended his decision, emphasizing the importance of free speech and the need to allow individuals to express their opinions, even if they are unpopular or controversial.
If the people of a given country are against a certain type of speech, they should talk to their elected representatives and pass a law to prevent it.
He argued that free speech is meaningless unless it includes the ability to hear things that you may not agree with or like. There has been a long-running discussion over the impact of social media on culture and the accountability of its gatekeepers. It's no secret that social media has become a potent tool for influencing public opinion and policy debates. But they've also been called out for facilitating the transmission of hate speech and false information, which has been shown to increase social and political polarization.
Man, I love Elon, and I love that he is a man of purpose.
It has been argued that social media sites have a duty to police their users for hate speech and bigotry. There are others who argue for more stringent regulation of social media sites in order to curb hate speech and the dissemination of disinformation.
Weapon against absolute tyranny. And although you cannot have complete free speech because then conversations completely break down into...
Ignore anything Musk has to say about it. He's just trying to make a point. He claimed there was no established authority to settle disputes involving allegations of false information.
I really can't emphasize this enough. We must protect free speech. And free speech only matters, it's only relevant when it's someone you don't like.
I don't think it matters if it includes me or not. I think what's important is that free speech is the number one.
Therefore, he argued, we should err on the side of allowing people to voice their views, even if they are divisive or unpopular. The effect that social media has on people and groups.
Asinine insult fests. I do like the idea of the changing of the guard.
Should also be taken into account. While they can be a safe place for people to share their thoughts and build relationships, they are also not immune to the spread of damaging stereotypes and divisive rhetoric. The content published on these platforms has far-reaching ramifications for society. Therefore, it's crucial that we think about them and strive for a more just and equal world.
Don't like, allowed to say something you don't like. And if that is the case, then we have free speech.
Andrew Tate responds to the interview. Tate himself was aware of the interview and even responded to a fan who pointed out that Musk had made the Andrew Tate hand sign during the interview. The hand sign has become somewhat of a signature move for Tate,
saying certain things would get you thrown into prison. And they were like, well, we don't want that here. And by the way, in many parts of the world, including parts of the world that people might think are...
and is often used during his interviews. Tate responded to the tweet, stating that he believes the hand sign is a symbol of truth. The exchange on Twitter sheds light on the ongoing controversy surrounding both Tate and Musk. Tate has faced criticism for his controversial views and actions, including allegations of misogyny and human trafficking. His recent legal troubles have only added to the controversy. Ultimately, the debate is far from over, and it remains to be seen how social media platforms will evolve in the future to address these issues.
Many examples where it's the including free speech.
Free speech used to be a left or liberal value.
Wokeness is not building on liberalism. It's the opposite of liberalism.
However, the ongoing controversy surrounding Tate and Musk serves as a reminder of the power and influence of social media in shaping public discourse and the responsibility that comes with that influence. Regardless of one's opinion of the issue, it is clear that the debate around free speech on social media platforms is far from over. While individuals like Andrew Tate may continue to push the boundaries of what is considered acceptable speech,
Desire to actually censor. I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment.
it is up to society as a whole to determine the limits of free expression and ensure that hate speech and discrimination are not given a platform. As social media continues to shape the way we communicate and interact with one another, it is essential that we find a way to balance the right to free speech with the responsibility to promote a more inclusive and respectful society.
When someone you don't like says something you don't like, that is a sign of a healthy, functioning, free speech situation.
That's all for the video, folks. We'll see you next time.